In this video, we're talking about constructive dismissal compensation and how much you should get. If you're interested in unfair dismissal compensation and how much you should get, please check out our other video on that topic. My name's Alex Monaco, solicitor and owner of Monaco Solicitors. Topics we're going to cover in this video: what is constructive dismissal, negotiating an out-of-court settlement for constructive dismissal, what you would get in an employment tribunal for compensation, and the effect of getting another job. What is constructive dismissal? It is a type of unfair dismissal which is governed by Section 98A of the Employment Rights Act 1996. Effectively, it's where you've been treated so badly at work that you feel no choice but to leave your job, so to resign. You need 2 years service for that, so you need to be employed for 2 years, otherwise you can't claim for constructive dismissal. Rather than getting confused about should I resign or not, we would say absolutely do not resign. If you can possibly stay in your job, do not resign. We can still negotiate you an out-of-court settlement, or you can negotiate your own settlement out of court for constructive dismissal, and it's actually much easier to do that if you don't resign, because if you're in your role and you officially do work for your company, they're much more likely to want to settle with you and to agree some compensation with you to leave, because they want you to leave, you want to leave, everyone wants leaving to happen, so then you can meet in the middle and you can make that happen. Whereas if you've already left, you're kind of out of sight, out of mind, so they don't really have that motivation to pay you off to get rid of you effectively. So try not to resign at least until you've spoken to lawyers. Eventually, you will have to resign if you get treated badly for a long period of time. Otherwise, the court can say that you have deemed to have accepted that behaviour. But more on that in our constructive dismissal main video and on our website about that. So, negotiating compensation for constructive dismissal out of court. Well, first of all, as we said, if you're still in your role, that gives you that bit of leverage. If you really can't handle it, you can perhaps go off sick, speak to a GP, and the whole time you can be negotiating with your employer on what's called a without prejudice basis, or you can have what's called a protected conversation with your employer. More on those on our website. So your leverage here is that almost that threat that you're just going to come back into the office and you're going to keep working with this. Perhaps it's a manager that's bullying you, say, is a classic example. Broadly speaking, you'll be looking to negotiate, say, your notice pay paid in lieu, so you won't have to work your notice, you still get paid for that. And also something to tide you over between jobs until you get another job. That might be 3 months' money. Say on average 3 to 6 months' money would be a pretty good result. How much would you get in an employment tribunal for constructive dismissal compensation? Well, by the time you get to an employment tribunal, you will have had to have resigned from your job one way or another. So our previous advice about don't resign, that can't go on forever. So eventually you will have to resign. So it will actually be an unfair dismissal claim by that point. So that's the difference between constructive dismissal and unfair dismissal. At that point, you're going to get the same compensation that you would get in an unfair dismissal claim, which is the basic award, which is a multiplier of a week's salary for each year worked. Now that is capped to £500-ish a week. That cap does change. And there's also a slight multiplier based on your age as well. Have a look online about that. Then you've got a compensatory award, which is for how long you've been out of work, and it's looking at how much money you've lost during that period of time. Then finally, the effect of getting another job. Well, presuming that you're still employed, so you're thinking about claiming constructive dismissal, you may be hunting for jobs. And when you do get another job, you might want to transition from your current job straight into the next job. So at that point, why would your employer pay you anything at all, frankly? Because they know you're not going to be out of work for very long. So they know you're not going to have a very valuable employment tribunal claim. The key there is to negotiate your exit package before you get this other job and before they request any references, and frankly, before you've even officially accepted another job, so that way you don't have to tell your employer if they ask you whether you've got another job, because you haven't got one yet. So do try and get that going quickly. If you do have a lawyer on your team, it's going to make you seem more serious, so they're more likely to reach a bit deeper into their pockets when it comes to agreeing that financial settlement with you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and have a look on our website as well for some more information. Thanks very much.